Hey everyone! Today I'm going to show you how I'm recreating one of my sweaters that I love wearing during the fall for a stuffed animal. I think it turned out super cute, so let's get started. The materials you'll need are some pins, scissors, and some fabric. Mine is a little stretchy, and your patterns. Here are the measurements I used. These will fit a Build-A-Bear or any similarly sized stuffed animal. So I'm first going to lay out my fabric, and I have it folded because I'm going to need 2 of every single piece except this one, piece number 4, this long rectangle. And so now I'm just pinning it down and then cutting each piece out. Since I first folded over the fabric, I can now just pin down all my pieces and get 2 of each. And for piece number 4, I'm going to unfold my fabric and then cut it out. After all my pieces are cut out, I'm going to take my 2 main shirt pieces and I'm just going to start hemming the bottom. And this is with the bad side facing up, but for my fabric you can't really tell. So I'm actually just going to fold it over once and then pin it right along the bottom. And then I'm going to do this to the other one as well. After everything's pinned down, I'm going to do a straight stitch along the bottom of each one. After the bottom is hemmed, I'm going to flip the 2 pieces good side to good side, so where you folded up should be visible on the outside. And now I'm just going to pin them together because I'm going to sew a straight stitch across the top to connect the 2 pieces together. Now I'm going to flip it open like this, and now we can add our collar. So I'm going to grab that single piece I cut out. It's a long rectangle, and I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm just going to line this up with the necklines of the front and back. I'm laying them good side to good side like this, and I know this can be a little tricky, but I'm just going to be pinning around the entire circle that's formed right there. And I'm going to continue pinning that all the way around. And then I'm going to do a straight stitch right along where I pinned. And after that, you'll have 2 open ends. So you'll want to fold them good side to good side and then just sew them together. So as you can see, after sewing the 2 ends together, the collar is completely on. And now we can start working on our sleeves. So I'm going to grab my sleeve pieces. And as you can see, the sleeves are a little bigger than the curves on the shirt. And that's because my sweater has some pleats along the shoulder, so that's what I'm going to try to do to this one. So starting right in the middle, I'm just going to fold over a little bit of the fabric. And for these first 3 pleats, I kind of want them to look like they're facing downward when they're on the shirt. So I'm going to have 3 going in one direction and 2 going in the other direction. And the 2 going in the other direction will be for the back of the shirt. And I'm making sure to put my pins in vertically so you can sew right over the pins and then remove them later. After all the pleats are made, the curve should line up with the curve from the shirt, and mine is now the right size, so I'm just going to do a straight stitch following the curve to lock in those pleats. Now after repeating the same thing to the other sleeve, we can now sew them on. So I'm going to flip them good side to good side, and I find it best to always start in the middle and then just follow the rest of the curve on the other sides. So I'm just flipping it around to make it easier. And then after this, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And then I'm just going to do a straight stitch following these pins. After that, we can unfold the sleeves. And the last thing to add is the cuffs on the ends of the sleeves. So I'm going to take my rectangle and fold it in half. And then I'm just going to line it up good side to good side with the sleeve. And since my material is stretchy, I actually want to pull this lightly as I put it through the sewing machine. And this way the sleeves will gather a little and look a little puffier. And since I'm going to be stretching the material as I go, there's no need to pin it all the way down. I'm just going to add 1 pin at the top to hold it in place. And I'm going to sew this on with a straight stitch on both sides. And after that, we are almost done. There's just one last step. I'm going to fold it in half with the bad side facing out, and you're going to want to make sure your cuffs are lying flat. And then I'm just going to line up the sleeves and the sides of the shirt, and then I'm just going to pin these together. And this is where I'm going to do a straight stitch in kind of an upside down L shape. And you're going to want to make sure when sewing this that you're getting both layers of fabric in each line. Because if you don't, where the bottom of the sleeves and side of the shirt meet, there might be a hole. And after that, you are pretty much done. The last thing I'm going to do is trim off some extra fabric on the bottom of the sleeves and then just turn it inside out. And after that, you can try it on your stuffed animal. I was actually really surprised with how similar it turned out to my sweater because I've never made anything like this, and I originally thought my sweater was going to be pretty complicated, but this wasn't too bad. I get most of my inspiration for stuffed animal clothes from clothes I have or clothes I see online, and I hope to do more of these making stuffed animal versions of regular sized clothes in the future. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye!